think you probably feel this way too. And I know, even when we were doing all the Endgame and Infinity War stuff, were you were prepping to do Knives Out already or not?
Yeah. Well, we were doing the reshoots for those last couple bits. I don't know if you were there. You were so in and out because you died. but I think, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. If
If you haven't seen the movie, too bad.
She didn't make it. Yeah, it was towards the end of filming that Ryan reached out and sent the script for Knives Out, and I love those movies.
Because it must have been so exciting also. Well, I was thinking because I was doing kind of talking to Noah while we were doing the Infinity War and Endgame stuff, and it was such something for me to kind of hold on to during those often sort of just tedious days of, whatever, like all that action storytelling that we have to do where you have to be like in it for these little like segments of time. I mean,
well, there's a lot of things about those movies where it's not just the actual filmmaking process is very, start, stop with little bits and pieces because of the action, the nature of the movie, plus it's roles that we've played for a really long time, so we're really familiar with it. So it is exciting. No disrespect to those movies. I love those movies, but to come off of them and have a completely different approach to finding a character, to collaborating with other artists, and ultimately, just it's uncharted waters, coming off of a Marvel movie. It's just exciting to get a change of pace.
I think there's a lot of, it's interesting because a couple of people actually in the past couple of days have mentioned to me that a couple of extremely esteemed directors have been, really vocal about how movies, the kind of whole Marvel universe and these, I guess, big kind of blockbuster action movies are really like, using words like despicable and like the death of cinema. And I actually, at first I thought, oh, that seems kind of old fashioned. And somebody sort of had to explain it to me because it seemed so kind of disappointing. And sad in a way, and then they said, no, I think what these people are saying is that at the actual theater, there's not a lot of room for different kinds of movies or smaller movies or independent movies because the theater is actually just taken up by these huge blockbuster movies, and there's actually no space for these movies. And it made me sort of think about how people consume content now, and how there's been this huge sea change in how where people view what the viewing experience is, and what the maybe what we would have called the cinematic experience, how that's definitely changed for people as everyone's lifestyle has changed. I mean, people are taking in all of this different content and all these different new platforms, and it's just changing. And I think of all the stuff that's out there that has found a home in, whether it's through a streaming network service or, maybe on a different kind of television networks that are happening now, or, there's all these different ways and people to see stuff. And so all this stuff is getting made that I think would probably have never had a shot before.
Well, that said, and it really is a testament to what original content. I think original content inspires original content. You know what I mean? I think new stuff is what keeps the creative wheel rolling. I mean, like TV is such a good example for that. Right now, there's unbelievable new stuff happening.
Yeah.
All over that landscape.
Yeah.
There's less risk. They're not beholden to box office results, and as a result, they have more freedom and they allow more creative minds to be in charge of the creative process and ultimately the final product. I just believe there's room at the table for all of it. You know what I mean? Like it's like trying to say a certain type of music isn't music. Well, why bother? Who are you to say that? It just feels like a strange, same team. Having Avengers be the biggest movie of all time is, it can make
Is it the biggest movie of all time?
Yeah.
It is?
Yep.
Wow, we really do need to go on vacation.
I keep saying that. We've been trying to organize this Avengers vacation. We deserve it. We deserve it. A little victory lap. But it's not just wonderful because you get to be a part of pop culture phenomenon the same way Star Wars impacted me. But I think what really will stay with me is the fact that the people we got to work with truly is not a bad apple in the bunch.
Yeah,
And
we have a good group of
we
people.
get along so well.
We get along so well, and it's really funny because I remember back in Iron Man 2 days. I think you had just finished filming the first Cap, and it was so interesting that you and I again were coming together. I mean, we had no idea that what we were making back. It was just impossible to know what the phenomenon that the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Avengers would be. And so we shared a lot of the same kind of. I mean, you had a huge kind of burden to carry this massive, much beloved, iconic character that you were these huge shoes to fill, and I'm sure that must have been a very daunting task, and also like just a decision to make. And I think I remember you saying, I think I saw you out one night, and you were kind of like weighing the possibility, and it was not a. I think a lot of people would just assume, oh yeah, that would be, you jump at that chance, but. Having been through it myself with also a partner that I was with that had also another big kind of iconic superhero thing that he was working on, and it's the pressure. You don't know how it's going to go, right? No. I mean, it seems ridiculous now because of how successful the Marvel stuff is, but it could be like career ending. I felt like that at the time, right? If it went the wrong way.
And even in success, I mean, even the movies are successful. If you hate the people you're working with, if you don't like your character, having to come back to work can really sour the process, even though you have this nice end result of being like, biggest thing all time. But it was a horribly dark chapter. Everything about making those movies, for me at least, was just an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, it's been just, I feel like unbelievably lucky to have been a part of something like that. It will be like one of my treasured memories of life. Just, having forging the kind of family friendships that we had with everybody, and experiencing the success of something like that with a group of people that you love and like are rooting for is basically the best possible way that could turn out. And it's funny because even when we went on to do Avengers, the first one, I mean, all of us were totally, I think everybody was feeling like very uneasy about the concept. It was just so absurd.
It was a lot. It was a big, big endeavor. This is it. This is the moment. If this doesn't work, this pipe dream that we've been hearing about could derail very quickly.
Like, were you shocked at how well the first Avengers did?
Blown away. But after that, I knew there was a chance that this could be something really big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, so thankful because of how well it went off screen. You know what I mean? Those are the people you got to work with.
Right.
As good as a final product is, I mean, I could be wrong in this, but ask any actor. I don't care how good the final movie is. If making it wasn't what you wanted it to be, you're not going to do it again.
Would you come back?
To Marvel?
Yeah.
Well, I'm an old man now, but
yeah, right. You're falling apart.
Yeah, everything clicks when I get up. Recovery is not the same.
Yeah, you're looking bad.
Smoke and mirrors.
Falling apart.
Smoke and mirrors. There's a pound of makeup on this. I didn't answer the question, did I?
Would you come back?
You never say never. I loved the character. I don't know.
So not a hard no.
It's not a hard no, but it's not an eager yes either. Right. There's other things I'm working on right now, and the worry is you don't want to. I think Cap had such a tricky arc to stick the landing, and I think they did a really nice job letting him complete his journey. And if you're going to revisit it, you can't be a cash grab. It can't be just because audiences would be excited. There has to be, what are we revealing? What are we adding to the story? You don't want it to just be that one, man, they had this great thing and that little thing over there that we'll just, forget about. So a lot of things would have to come together, but it's
not obvious.
It doesn't feel at this time like that would be the thing that I'd be looking to do. No.
It also has such a, because I wasn't there for the last third of the film or whatever, I actually had no idea what was going to happen. And I don't know, maybe that was an ending that they kind of came to that conclusion in, post. I don't know how it worked exactly, if it was scripted, but the fact that the film ends on like true love's kiss was so touching and so fulfilling.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful, cathartic ending, and I loved that. I loved that for Steve. I think he deserved it.
Yeah.
It was all his happiness.
It'd be a shame to sour that. You know what I mean? That's I'm very protective of it. You know what I mean? It was such a precious time, and jumping onto the movie was a terrifying prospect to me. I said no a bunch of times, and there's a million and one ways it could have gone wrong, and it could have backfired, and I could have regretted it, and it didn't happen. And to keep on testing that is just it almost feels like maybe you should just let this one sit. But the good thing about Marvel is you never. I feel the way about Pixar too. They never go for the cash grab. They care. They care. It's never going to be something they just throw together and just because they know they're going to make a mint. So, in that regard, who knows? Who knows?